Okay, so how do we recognise other styles? So the first step, remember, the first thing that you want to do, the first skill you want to learn is to be able to understand yourself. When you understand yourself more clearly, you can then start looking around at others. Okay? So first thing is know yourself well, own your strengths, and then start to understand where your weaknesses are and think about, well, how do I mitigate those? And remember, it's always easy to play to your strengths. And then it's also starting to think about, well, how does my strength or my style affect those nearest and dearest to me? So we start with ourselves, and then we want to start recognising others. So how do we profile? Okay, it's pretty simple. You get better at it with practice. It's like anything. Simple tool plus disciplined practice equals a sustainable result. If you walk out of the room and you never look at this again, and you come back in 5 years and someone's standing here facilitating, you go, yeah, I've done that. Yeah, you ain't done it. You showed up at a 2-hour, 4-hour training session and ticked a box. Yeah? When you do something, you do it every day. Yeah? So if you want to get good at this, and you can be, it's really easy, you've been given the tools, you just start to practice and test. Yeah? It doesn't matter about getting it right or wrong, you just have a go. So what we do is some people are faster and some people are slower in style. Yeah? So the first thing I do when I interact with someone, and I can do this on the telephone, who works predominantly on the telephone with people? Yeah. So the minute I pick up the phone, I'm listening to the pace of their words. Yeah. What pace? So if their pace is faster, then I make a first guess that they're probably a D or an I. Yeah. If they're slower and more reserved, quieter, calmer, then I make a guess that they're more conscientiousness or steadiness in their style. I then listen for signals of whether their focus, their interest area is task or relationship. Are they more interested in getting things done, the detail, the facts, the figures, or are they more interested in the relationships and the warmth and who's involved or how we're going to do things? So I listen to language and I listen to pace. When I meet someone, I look at their pace. How quickly do they walk? How quickly do they engage? How much, look at pace. I look for how quickly they make decisions. So when I'm working with someone, how quickly do they make a decision? That gives me an immediate indication of their style. Task orientated, I look for particular questions. I'd write this down. I've said it a couple of times, but hopefully you've written it. Favourite question of a dominant person, their favourite question is what? Okay. What's the bottom line? What's the risk? What's in it for me? What's the result? What's the return on investment? What? Ho, yeah. Our eyes, their favourite word is who. Okay. Who else has bought this? Who else is using it? Who else is on the team? Who else is coming to the party? They won't make a decision about going to a party unless they know who else is attending. Okay. So their favourite word is who. Steadiness people, their favourite word is how. Okay. How are we going to do this? How will this be accomplished? How will we be working together? And our conscientious people, their favourite question is why. And no, not all toddlers are C's. But their favourite question is why. So, as a very quick analysis to start and get you going, you think about what meetings am I having tomorrow? Yeah? So Darren, you having any meetings tomorrow?
Certainly am.
Grand, okay. So let's call that person Barry. Great, so you've got Barry. Fast or slow?
Fast.
Great. Task focused or relationship orientated?
Task.
You're dealing with a high D. Yeah. So when you're going into that meeting, your objectives, part of your objectives is to be short and sharp and bullet point. Present your information with bullet points. You also want to present your information using the word what. You also want to make sure that you talk results, return on investment, risk. You also do not want to do rapport first. Yep. Every other style, you do rapport first. D's, you do it after. Yeah? You do the business first, and then you talk about the football or the cricket or the soccer or whatever else. Yeah?
Lots of safety.
Pardon?
Documentation as well. Exactly.
Great. Okay, so it's all going to be business, 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 business. When the business is done, then you sit back and go, how's the family? Yeah? But you do not do it in the other order. Yeah? When you're preparing your questions, you're going to use a lot of what?